your surname wrong, I think. We're here with Toby Haydoke.
Close, Haydoke.
Oh no!
That's better than
That
most.
means I've been getting it wrong for years too.
Welcome.
Hello.
Could you please talk to us about your love affair with Doctor Who and how it started?
Well,
Just sit back.
yes. It started when I was a little boy living out in the countryside in the middle of nowhere, nobody's before. My brothers and sisters are all quite outdoorsy, I'm not, so I stayed indoors and there was a house full of books. We had two target novels. And so I flicked through those because they were exciting and beguiling colours. And I remember it was a summer repeat of The Invisible Enemy. And I remember one of my brothers going, "Oh, I remember this is where their faces turn furry and lo and behold, astronauts get infected and their faces turn furry." So that's why I know it's a repeat. And that's one of my earliest memories, and that's my first memory of Doctor Who. And I think because it has, I think anybody whose mind works a certain way, because it has a history, it has a past, there's much to discover. And I became a sort of archaeologist, trying to, and was surprised by how much stuff I'd be scouring the shelves one day and find Doctor Who monster, which we had for some reason. So, and this was before videos and things. So you try and sort of capture those stories that you at that point couldn't see. You turn on the telly on the afternoon in the hope that they might just be repeating an episode of Doctor Who randomly. Yeah. Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah, and as I say, my brothers had obviously been into it enough to have the books, but they sort of grew out of it, and I sort of never did. I can't imagine my life without it.
The best people never do.
No, indeed.
You've also seemed to have fallen into the podcast and the commentaries for the DVD. How did that happen? How did that start?
That happened. The commentaries happened because a chap called Peter Crocker, who works on DVDs restoring pictures, came to see my show in Buxton and sent me a message via an internet forum saying, "I saw your show last week. Thought it was great. I live nearby. I live in Manchester. Do you want to meet up? I've got some ideas for DVD extras." And he wanted me to sort of do some sort of comedy extras on the DVD. And we batted about a few ideas, but it wasn't really happening. And I thought, I go on the internet forums, I see how well disposed towards comedy extras that life's a bit too short. And gradually, that sort of like didn't really happen. But I emailed him about the War Machines commentary. I was saying, it's a shame you've only got Annika and Michael. What about John Cater? What about Alan Curtis? They're still about. And he said, "Oh, I think the producer assumed they were dead or something." I said, "They're in Spotlight. It's not that long." And I said, "Look, in future, if you're planning, I know where a lot of these actors are. And, I've made a habit of stalking. So if you're doing some in the future, why don't you just let me know? And I'll happily do it for nothing, just so that you get the people, because I see the DVDs as the sort of as close to the definitive history as possible. If you can get somebody involved, you should, sort of theory. And he said, "Well, actually, now you mention it, would you be interested in moderating a commentary?" I went, "Absolutely." And I did. I used to sort of practice doing it when I was cycling. Some people go through Oscar speeches. Because I did think it was something I could do, but I thought, nobody knows who I am, so I would never ask me. And so they did ask me, and I did the first couple, and gradually, became their go-to guy, really. And the podcast just came about because just before New Year's Eve 2012, and somebody on Twitter, American Doctor Who fan, said, "My wish for Doctor Who's 50th anniversary is that Toby Haydoke interviews everybody from Doctor Who." And I said, "Well, I can't interview everybody from Doctor Who, but I could try and get an anecdote from every story. How about it, Big Finish?" And that sort of moment of madness sort of spiraled. And then then I thought, well, that's quite easy to do because I know Fraser, I know Louise, Fraser will nobble off all of track. But then when I was getting, I got drunk and I was watching the Doctor Who years, which is sort of combination. that anyway. Kevin McNally's holders in and falls over. I've always rather liked Kevin McNally, and I just thought, does anyone know Kevin McNally? And somebody did. And so I emailed him, and he went, yeah. So then I went to his house. He was so nice. And he's an illustrious actor. I thought, well, one, I can't just talk to him about Doctor Who. That's pathetic. So that's when I made the decision that the podcast would be about more than just Doctor Who. And I thought, I'm actually more excited about interviewing somebody like Kevin than I would be about Fraser and Louise, just because I've seen them and heard them interview lots. And I thought, well, okay, so now I'll try and get... So, for example, with the censor rights, on the DVD commentary, we got everybody that was still alive, apart from Ilona Rogers, because she lives in New Zealand. And I thought, well, I've got the contact sheet for the DVD commentary. I could get any of those people. Right, I'm going to try for Ilona Rogers. And I emailed her agent in New Zealand, and her agent was really helpful. And Ilona did a Skype thing. So, and the same with Gunfighters, I got William Erndl, who we hadn't found when we were doing the DVD, and tracked him down to Thailand. And he happened to be, he was coming over to the UK for some surgery. And so I started sort of filling in the gaps, if you like, and sort of going, it's my podcast, I'll interview who I want to. And that sort of spiraled from that. I mean, I look at it now and go, I can't believe. I mean, there's going to be, when it's all done, there's going to be about 250 things. I can't believe now, looking back, that I did that. But I'm pleased that I did. I don't want to do it all over again. And people would be great, a total stranger is asking people to do something for free, and they all say yes.
Of course, then we have, was it Monsters in my Doctor Who scarf at the...
Moths.
The Monsters, not Monster, right? Was that Edinburgh?
I did Edinburgh 2006, and then for a week in 2007. And then it went on tour around the West End. And became a CD, so that I'll be dining out on that one for a while.
What brought that about?
A friend of mine, well, I've been a comic for 20 years, and a friend of mine who had been a comic but was now a businessman, who always sort of his acting and comedy career that he turned his back on sort of vicariously through me and came to see me at gigs. I was his sort of his window into that world. Came to ask for a barbecue for my son's birthday, and it was raining. And he's the sort of person that he's a bit Del Boyish. I've got this idea we're going to be millionaires next week. And he said, I'm writing a book. You can write a book in 2 weeks. You should write a book. And I just sort of passed him off by going, so actually I've got a good title, Moths in my Doctor Who scarf, because moths had eaten my Doctor Who scarf, and I thought it was a very evocative image, this idea of sort of solid childhood, entropy eating away at a totem of childhood. And it is a great title, because it says so much. And he said, do it as an Edinburgh show. And I said, I can't. 2 kids, the money goes out as soon as it comes in. Edinburgh, it costs a fortune to go. You have to venue, posters, and publicity, blah blah blah. And he said, well, why doesn't my business sponsor you? He said, just put my logo on the posters. I'll sponsor it. So he did. So then I didn't have any of the. He said, so long as I can direct it. So he directed the show. It was more sort of script editing. He didn't say stand there and say that like that. It was more that bit's not working. Try that. And it was him that said, take out all the jokes about Doctor Who that don't relate to you in your life, which was a big decision, because it was totally different in the lead up to Edinburgh. And he said, because that's the audiences are going for, is the real stuff, the emotional stuff. He said, but there's all these brilliant jokes, it doesn't matter. And that was the making of it, because people that had never seen Doctor Who came to see it and liked it, because it's not really about Doctor Who, it's about fatherhood and growing up and alienation, all sorts of other things. And so the viewers came expecting to see a geek show, and they saw something that's actually about relationships. And that's why it did well. And that was from Mark watching a preview, which, large chunks of which the audience were very nice but absolutely baffled what I was talking about. And he went, yeah, we lose all that. There was one section, there was a whole 20-minute section that was a complete and utter history of Doctor Who, which made us howl with laughter. And I cut the whole thing. Because it wasn't about It wasn't personal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Am I correct in thinking you won a Les Dawson Award for comedy?
I won the Les Dawson Award for services to comedy because I run a comedy club in Manchester called Excess Monarchy. That is a non-profit making comedy club, so we only charge, members pay £3 to see. We've had everyone from Peter Case, Jimmy Carter, Sarah Millican, Russell Kane, Jack Whitehall, Alan Carr, and that's 20 years old next month, end of September. I'm usually, most comedy clubs, certainly in London, you have nights for new acts and you have nights for established acts, whereas at Excess you get 20 minutes from an act who's sort of mid-range, as it were, and then you get the middle section, which is established acts trying out new material, or people who might never have done it before. We always have 10 minutes for somebody I don't know. And if they get in touch, say, can we do a gig, you go, and that might be their first gig, it might, and they might be awful, you never know. But the audience are very well trained, so they give people their head. They allow their 10 minutes to try and fail, and mostly they don't, because it's a very good environment. But so that was for that really. That was they mucked up because they put it over to public vote, and the Les Dawson Award, the nominees were me, Peter Kay, Victoria Wood, Dave Spikey, loads of Steve Coogan, blah 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 blah. But because it was the first year of the Manchester Comedy Awards, the only people who really knew about it were the comedy people.
Yeah.
So, despite the fact they did newspaper articles going, "This man's taken the lead. Who is he? Why didn't you vote for Peter Kay?" Because obviously it would have been better for them if they'd had a ceremony where they gave an award to Peter Kay. And they didn't. It obviously didn't catch on because I won. So I think the next year, Carolina Hearn won it, and they didn't have a public vote. They just gave it to her.
Trust the public.
No.
Democracy, it's very
It just doesn't work.
Clearly not.
Vote you vote for.
Yes.
Brexit, no one.
Looking at Doctor Who again, question we're asking everyone, casting Jodie Whittaker.
Yes.
What's your opinion?
She's a fine actress. I thought I'd be cross, and I'm not at all. I think it's interesting. It's got people talking about the show again.
Yeah.
The only thing I've not liked about it is other people telling me what I should think about it.
Yes.
And people who don't watch Doctor Who. That's what really is. People go, about time it was a woman, wasn't it? And I go, what makes you say that? What's the precedent in the show that says it was time for a woman? You go, well, don't watch it. You go, then why have you got an opinion? Why are you telling me what mine should be? I don't have a problem with it being a woman, but I also don't think it had to be.
Yeah.
Mark Lawson wrote an article regarding going, it would have been appalling if it was another white male. No, it would be appalling. You can't impose liberalism. And as soon as you start imposing liberalism, it defeats the very object of what liberalism is. And a lot of people on my Facebook be very prescriptive about saying, well, they should have done it years ago. No, they shouldn't have done it years ago. Television has changed over the years. Don't say Barry Letts wasn't a progressive person because he didn't cast a female Doctor Who. He was a very progressive and liberal person at different times. So that's the only thing that's irritated me really. Other than that, I think she is a really good actress. And what I like is that I don't know what she's going to be like. Do you know what I mean? If they cast Richard E. Grant, say, I knew what Richard E. Grant's Doctor Who was going to be like. It was going to be Richard E. Grant. I don't know what Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who is going to be like, and I think that's really interesting. And as I say, it has got. There's a quite well-known comedian called James Acaster. I don't know if you know James. He's a lot of power shows. He's very good. And he texted me. He said, "I bet millions of people have texted you this, but how do you feel about this Doctor Who thing?" I said, "Oh, it's great." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Sorry, I just had to text somebody who knows about Doctor Who because I've never watched it, but I really want to watch it now." And I thought that's really interesting. And he felt moved to actually get in touch with me and go, I need to share this information.
That's one new tool then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. May lose a few weirdos, but we gain a lot more.
Yeah. As I say, I think we'd lose a few, but I think we'd gain so much more.
I think so.
Yeah, somebody was telling me about a female friend of theirs who got, well, I'm not watching it anymore. You go, what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Actually, yeah.
mad. Yeah. I wrote a little piece for the Eye. I was asked to write, because I would have preferred it to be a man, but it's not, so we move on.
Yeah.
But the amount of abuse you get for even having a differing opinion it's been unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I must admit, it's been one of the few times I've been ashamed of certain parts of fandom that, you know.
Yes, first it's weird. You sometimes see the way certain elements of fandom behave online and you think, you must be watching a different show to me, because the Doctor Who I watch is about being nice to people and being inquisitive and having an open mind and exploring new things and embracing change and actually being nice to each other.
Yeah.
You're obviously watching a different show to me because you're being horrible.
Yeah. So what are you working on at the moment?
Well, I have my next play for Radio 4 is going to be on, as we record this, in 2 days, on Monday. And that's called Grand Designs of the Third Kind. So, as when I rang my mother and said, I've been commissioned to do another play for Radio 4, and she said, oh, what is it? I said, it's called Grand Designs of the Third Kind. And she went, oh. She always affects a lisp when she disapproves of something. Is it more science fiction? And I went, Mum, if they want Lorna Doone, they ain't coming to me. Do you know what I mean? I'm the sci-fi guy. And it is. And it's got John Joe O'Neill in it, who was in the 50th anniversary special. Because he's a good actor, John Joe. And Arthur Bostrom, who was Officer Crabtree in Lower Low, is in it. Yes, absolute legend. And he's very good in it. And Chrissy Bone, who used to be in Coronation Street, who's a film man, she was called Danielle Henry, who was in Doctors, who was terrific, and I wrote the part for her, and I was really pleased she was able to do it. So it's a top-notch cast. And on the back of that, I'm writing another piece for Radio 4, which is an adaptation of something, and I can't say what it is. Because
the phrase word.
The contracts haven't been signed, but it's all there bar the signature, the dotted line, and it will be something that genre fans will be very pleased about. I think. Put it like this: if I wasn't doing it and somebody announced that this was being done, I would be very excited.
So I have the thumb squeeze now.
I'm very. When's this going now?
I have no idea.
Be at least 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, I might not sign anything. I'll tell you when the conference.
Do you look at the state of the new Who DVD Blu-ray releases and think they missed a trick at all?
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's time.
Do you think they might come back and add the extras in?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Sadly, the fact is, the Doctor Who DVD, the classic series DVD range, we got away with a lot because, frankly, people would have bought them anyway.
Yeah.
But nobody told the people in charge.
Yeah.
Because if you'd released the War Machines without commentary, without a documentary or anything, the sales would have been not affected at all. So they could have made more money.
So some of the early ones were virtually
Yes. Yeah. But thank God that it was the restoration team who sort of put in place the template for how to do it. And they just quietly got established that as the norm and got away with it.
Yeah.
Because we worked hard. So certainly by the time I was working on them, where I didn't just moderate the commentaries, I suggested lineups and put in touch with people, and we tried to get everybody. If somebody wasn't on the commentary, we tried to get them on the documentary. So it was all. My pet hate was where the commentary and the documentary had all the same people.
Yeah.
That's the war games was before my time, and I was livid because they literally used the same people, and then half the cast who were then still alive who were on neither. And you go, no, the commentary producer should have used entirely different people from the documentary producer. Apart from Fraser and Wendy, of course, there is, but guest cast-wise, you go, well, if you have, the commentary has that lot, and the documentary has that lot. They didn't do that. So that's the sort of thing I sought to change when I was on board. There was the different producers who spoke to each other and trying not to double up. I would like to think in 15 years' time, some doubting producer at BBC Worldwide will go, do you know what? There's a market for some historical documentary. And also, I think time, Doctor Who Confidential is great, but it's a puff piece. It's they're not going to say what doesn't work or who was a nightmare. Not that you necessarily want to, but it's not. It serves a different purpose. It is not a true record. It is a piece of publicity.
Yeah.
So I think it would be, and I bet Russell would do it as well. I bet in 10 years' time, if you rang Russell up and said, right, we're going to do a box set of, your era of Doctor Who, I bet he'd do it. Oh, marvellous! And I think, because and of course, when he was in charge, they actually did those. They did commentaries. They did commentaries on the DVD and on
online.
Online.
I've still got that somewhere.
Yeah. But the fact is, as it is now, they sell as many as they can sell without doing that. I think it's a shame, but that's why I'm not a rich man.
Yeah. Particularly shame is obviously you're going to lose actors and cast and crew in the meantime.
Well, yes.
To give their story.
Yes.
Like
Although
John Hurt, for example.
yes, indeed. Although, we do sort of joke, when somebody dies, the tragedy is that they've died, not that they haven't done a commentary.
Yeah.
When Deborah Watley died, I hope nobody went, oh, that's the Fury from the Deep commentary.
True.
But it is nonetheless, it is, Web of Fear came back, and Nick Courtney and Rob Beecham, who were both in it, but died in relatively recent history.
Yeah.
And you think, yes, there are many sad reasons, sad things about the death of Nicholas Courtney, and that's perhaps not the highest on the list, but it is nonetheless. It would have been nice for him to see it.
No, it's gone. Oh God, that's awful. Come on, Scott.
I think
You're always good with the questions.
All my questions are related to troubles of fatherhood and surprises. Yeah. Oh dear. Peter R. Is it?
Yes,
Censor?
who wrote the Censor Rights.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where did you get the idea of
Thomas Guerrero, one of the Guerrero brothers, had the DVD schedule, and they were pitching ideas for documentaries. And he sent me a list of the DVDs that were coming up. And he said, have you got any ideas for these? And I was just in my room, and I just flurried up. I can't even remember what the other ones were now, but that one, I just went, why don't you do a piece where you try and find out about Mervyn Pinfield, who directed Censor Rights, or most of it, and Peter R. Newman, because they had both died before Doctor Who fandom existed, so they'd never been interviewed. And I thought that it's the one writer-director pair on that one particular story who were gone before fandom, was there to chronicle Doctor Who, and there was nothing known about Newman, and slightly less about. But Pinfield's still quite an enigmatic figure. And he really liked that idea, but then Dan Hall decided he was only going to commission stuff of Ed Stradling and Chris Chapman, so that went down the wayside. I passed it on to somebody else, my friend Simon Harris also pitched it. And then, so I found out that Chris was doing the Censor Rights, and I worked with Chris on something else. And so I said to him, I said, look, I had this idea. I okayed it with Tom Gurry at first. I said, I had this idea that I think is actually quite a good idea. And he went, oh yeah, that is a good idea, but I'm just interested in Newman actually, because there is footage of Pinfield and people talked about Pinfield in interviews and stuff like that. He said, I'd narrow it down and just focus on Newman. I went, okay, fine, whatever. And then a week before we were due to shoot it, he just said, oh, we're going to have to pull this, I can't find it, we can't find it, we can't find it. So I emailed Richard Bignam, who I'd been doing research, and said, oh, that's a shame, because I thought it was a great idea. And he went, yeah. He said, hang on, give me a day, I've got a lead. And then we were back on. And of course I was to know nothing about it, because I discovered stuff as I discovered. That's why you had somebody else doing research, because it all had to be new to me, so I wasn't faking it. It went, oh my God, there's a picture of it. The recording, yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of that, because I largely watch Doctor Who DVD documentaries and go, I knew that, well that's wrong. Or it's very rare that I'm told something I didn't already know, because I've read all the magazines and all the books and all the making of Doctor Who is very well chronicled. And that's a rare occasion for me where a Doctor Who DVD actually tells me something I didn't know before I bought the DVD.
I think that's why I like that particular episode of that DVD, because it was stuff I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I usually get the DVDs myself and just go straight for the extras. I won't even watch the story, so I've missed the story, and that could be a few years later.
Yeah.
But what was it like spending time, how long was it, a week with John Levine?
It was only a weekend. It was a weekend. Now that was a funny, that idea came about. I was on a train coming back from Bath or somewhere, I'd been gigging, and somebody threw some Haribo on my table. And I went, they said they don't have jelly babies. And
I know your addiction.
And I went, oh, thanks very much. And he said, yeah, I like your work on the DVDs and stuff. I said, that's very kind of you to say. And he said, you should do one where you go and live with John Levine, like Louis Theroux. Sort of thing. And I to rather show off, I texted Chris Chapman and said, how about we do a documentary where I live with John Levine for a weekend? And he texted straight back and said, that's a brilliant idea, I'm emailing Dan Hall now. so I showed the guy on the train and I went, you might have just created a monster. And that's how it happened. And because John is this very interesting figure, and it's quite a character, we thought, well, that would lend itself quite nicely. It would be interesting to sort of try and delve beneath the surface of that, because he hides behind patter a lot. John is he's a form, there is a person within, and it was to try and break down those barriers that he puts up to try and work it out. It was certainly not done with any. I was rather annoyed with the review Doctor Who magazine gave it, where they sort of weren't, it was just a phrase of pissing into the tent or something, which I don't think is suitable language for Doctor Who magazine. It's judging us by motives we didn't actually have. And then sort of gradually said, and actually it ended up as a bit of a celebration of John Levine rather than, and so well that was the point. So you're giving me a slightly bad review for doing something I wasn't doing in the first place, and then being grudgingly complimentary about the fact we did what we were actually setting out to do. And I thought, and seeing as most of the DVD extras at that point were people going, oh, it was marvellous, and they turned the lights off at 10 o'clock, I thought we'd made a genuinely interesting programme. So I was a bit irked by that. Because, it was, as I said, it wasn't done with any malice towards John, but it's undeniable that John is an interesting character. And I sort of wanted to get to the bottom of that, and he, bless him, he dived in, and he phoned me the other day, and he's very happy with it. And I still haven't quite worked him out.
Because I think you got very far with it, but at the end of the interview you kind of feel like you haven't quite got...
No, and there's a scene, they don't use much of it actually, there was a scene where we had a drink on a Saturday night, and that was supposed to be this is where a few glasses of wine flow and the truth comes out, but he was still on. He was still on. And I know I didn't ever quite he was wise to it. He's not daft. So he was always giving the version of John that he wanted to give. Maybe if we had a week, I'd have ground him down.
Another bottle.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else you'd like to attend?
Well, we did say maybe we should, having done Living with Levine, we should do Hanging with Manning.
Would you survive?
Or Wandering with Waterhouse.
Do you think you'd ever get Jackie Lane to agree to it?
Now you see, I met Jackie Lane on a train. I meet old Doctor, yes. I meet old Doctor who can find, wish I met Jacqueline on a hill. I go to London a couple of times a week, back and forth. I was living in London at the time, and I go to Manchester a couple of times a week. And I always used to get on coach E, because that was the unreserved coach, and I would get a seat by the plug, because I like to plug in my laptop and do some work. And my pet hate is people who sit next to the plug and don't plug anything in. First with their backs to the wall. And I was hurtling towards coach E, and this person was getting on in front of me with a big case. And I thought, oh, damn, that's annoying, because they've got a big case. So what they'll do is I'll have to stand behind them while they fiddle with their case, and everybody else will get on the other side and get the bloody seats. And I thought, and then I went, oh, that's Jackie Lane. So, and she did sit in the next to us. and I thought, I could sit opposite her, but I thought that would be weird. So what I did was I sat a bit further down, and well, that's definitely Jackie Lane. And I took a photo and said to my friend, and I said, is that Jackie Lane on the screen? And he said, it is. And I thought, well, I can't be on a train with Jackie Lane and not say something, but I know she's famously shy of Vandals. And I thought, she's on a train. She doesn't want to be stuck with something weird.
That's a nightmare, isn't it?
So I thought, I'll wait till we've left Stockport, because then there's only a maximum of 15 minutes left of the journey. So I spent the whole thing, but I was quite nervous, and I was quite sort of excited. And what was quite funny was that I was obviously plucking around, and I caught the lady sitting opposite me, out of the corner of my eye, who was obviously watching me, girdling myself to do something.
Please.
And so finally, I did it, and I saw this lady tense. And then I looked at her, and it was Tracy Marlowe from Coronation Street. And she obviously thought, this guy has recognised me, and now he's going to go. And I walked straight past her. I went to this little old lady in the corner. I said, I'm sorry, are you Jackie Lane? And she went, how do you know that? And I said, I'm a big fan of Doctor Who, and I write about Doctor Who and stuff. And she said, oh, yeah, sit down. And I said, we've done so. And I said, we've just done a commentary for the Gunfighters, which she turned down. And I said, look, if ever you wanted to do something like that, I said, we'd happily come to you. She said, oh, you said, yes. I said, no, because I've not been in a TV studio for 50 years, I'd be quite nervous of it. So we'd happily come to you or someone neutral or whatever. And actually, the TV studio, it was just an excuse. She just doesn't want to do it. She's quite shy. She was absolutely lovely, and I said, look, I'll go. She said, no, stay at all. And we chatted, and she was perfectly happy
One-to-one.
to chat one-to-one about Doctor Who, about anything like that. And I've actually since emailed her a couple of times. She said, because I get these pictures signed for charity and the commentaries picture frames. And I emailed her and said, look, if I send you these, would you mind signing it? Because I've got everybody else. She said, yeah, absolutely. She said, funny enough, I'm going to Manchester next week. I said, oh, well, look, if that's because one of the halves of Corrie and Jackie used to was in Coronation Street. I said, if you want to look around the streets back in the day, I can get you shown around and stuff like that. And I said, if you want to, we'll have to buy you lunch or whatever. She said, I don't really like restaurants because my hair is not great. I don't like the noise as well. And again, and you just sort of go, it's very sweet excuses, but she just doesn't want to do it. She's just shy. Yeah. She's just a shy, very nice, doesn't dislike Doctor Who at all. This sort of thing is not her bag.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And she's really nice. But she doesn't. And you can psychoanalyse it and go, you know, it's insecurity that she doesn't think she's very interested, doesn't think she'll have anything interesting to say. She said that, she said, she said, it was 3 months out of my life, 50 years ago, I don't remember anything. Yeah, the memories come back and all that sort of thing. She just doesn't want to do it. So I did ask her to do Who's Round, and she was very sweet, but said, no, I don't want to, it's not my thing. And then when they interviewed her for the BBC 50th anniversary thing, Russell Minton asked her if she would do Who's Round, because somebody had said to him, Toby, she asked her to do Who's Round for Toby. And she sent him a thing back saying, Toby's already asked me to do this. That's very nice, but no. And I had to email and go, look, I didn't ask Russell to ask you. Somebody else, I'm not bad, because I put her in touch with Mark Gatiss, because he asked her to be in the 50th the thing I was Adventure in Space. It's Adventure in Space and Time as a you know to have people as a cameoing in Verity Lambert's leaving do sort of thing. And she just said no, that's really nice of you to ask, but you know I don't do that stuff anymore. So Jackie and I are sort of in touch off and on.
Yeah.
And she always replies to emails and is always very nice. Doesn't want to talk about
She's the only one that's not given in so far, isn't she?
She
Such a
was.
shame, because we used to think Joe Fielding would never go to big finish.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, anything's possible.
Jack-
He'll come back.
Paul McGann going to convention.
Yeah.
Never going to happen.
Can't stop him then.
Yeah. Just I think there's a bar somewhere that's got Christopher Eccleston and Jackie Lane in it going.
Yeah.
Still not going to go to those Doctor Who things.
I think
We're
we're out of
Yes.
time. Yeah.
No, sorry, I didn't talk behind those.
Oh.
No,
Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Right. Press the off.
It is off.
We recorded that one. Yes.
but didn't we record the other one?
Philippines trip. No.
Oh, okay.
Tim got on his.
Me, I'm trying.